I am getting really tired of moving this fuel cell back and forth, and we already finished testing. We already know the car runs. So it's about time I honestly just put this in the back. So I went to go to get the same square tubing I used on the S13, and it worked. It's not the most like super pretty setup, but it's just something just to kind of like get by. And eventually, maybe I'll change over to a different fuel cell. Maybe the same one I'm using for like the 240s, or I use the Pink 240 with the QSST from Fuel Lab. Which, speaking of Fuel Lab, we're still using the old pump, which is still good. And like I said, I'm not changing anything until we do our first test run, first test drift, and when I have time, we'll kind of like upgrade. I do have an external it's not the is it the QSST? Yeah, I have the external QSST. So I might just implement that in here. I got that a while back, which originally was supposed to go in the S13, but I was thinking I was going to reuse the old square tubing from the 240 just because it's already got the holes drilled in. But then I realized that it might be shorter than the one for the Charger. So I didn't have time to go measure everything because I woke up pretty late today. So I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start fresh. And I'm glad I did because the placement is gonna be off because where the battery is and where the spare tire is. Actually, let me just show you. Okay, so do you guys notice right here? Right, and this is what I was talking about the spare tire and the reason why I cut that, because to get access to the diff, it'll be so much easier. But I'm thinking the fuel cell should just sit in here. And it looks like it's shallow enough where we don't have to make extensions for the square tubing. And what I'm going to do, and if not, what I'm just going to do is I was just going to cut this part here, leave this part still intact, and maybe just tack like a little wall here so we keep the structural, keep the battery in here. The battery and the fuel cell are going to be in the frame, so I'm not worried about it getting crushed. I thought about moving the fuel cell up, but the way it's kind of like the sizing there, you might have to custom fab something, and I'm not trying to do all that. And besides, these frames are thick. Like, they're really thick. Like, you're not gonna... Even if someone rear-ended me, like, it's still a lot. And plus, like, we already have a firewall back here, right? I do need to put a plate. That's just the seat cover back there, but I do need to put a plate. But everything will be containing here, so it wouldn't be that much of an issue. Plus, this works out because most people do battery rig conversions anyway, so it's already been done already. So, but yeah, actually, let me see if the fuel cell even fits. I could tell you what, right away, I already know this thing is too tall. It's gonna bottom out first. Yep, it bottomed out. There's like this weird little hump here, and it's making the thing go angle a little bit. So, but this actually works out great. The fuel cell is not as big as I thought. This is, I believe, it's the 15 or 10 gallon. I forgot which one it is. It's not much, but wow, that actually works out a lot better. So I do have material, so I could just, well, like I said, tack. Yeah, I definitely have to cut it. That's just the reality here. I have to cut it to make this thing flush enough so I can sit on the floor. So, all right, well, that's fine. I was going to cut it anyways, so this actually kind of works out. Ugh. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that first, and then we'll tack this wall here because we know we have clearance, and then from there, we could start making... I don't want to get too deep with this first and then realizing I messed up. So, all right, let's jack this thing up one more time and start cutting. I'm going to take the battery off just to play it safe and not, I don't know, just feel like that's the most safety thing to do. All right, this is cool. Let's do it. Alright, dude, that was so easy. I'm so glad I kept that tool. But guys, look what happened. I accidentally cut the diffuser. No! I was gonna sell this bumper because I already know I was gonna smash it, but now it looks like might as well keep it now because there's no point. No one's gonna buy that with a diffuser cut off like that, but damn. So this actually works pretty good. I just kind of did whatever. I don't know what I was hitting. Oh, it was like it's part of the subframe. That's all. I couldn't cut that thankfully, but yeah, it's not the most cleanest cut. I'll be honest with you, but I also started cutting here, but I just realized I could just cut down here, and I mean, we'll see what happens. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, while this is out, I'm going to grab a piece of metal, and then I'm just gonna tack, just stitch weld all the way across. So I mean, it doesn't feel like this thing is gonna go anywhere, if I'm honest. Like, even now, like, it's still, like, it holds pretty strong. Actually, yeah, it holds pretty strong, actually. It's not as weak. I mean, it really is, like, you can't really flex this thing out. Oh, okay, cool. Actually, I'm okay with that. It's actually pretty structurally together. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. I was gonna do it, but, oh well. I mean, I don't think rubber really in back here or anything like that, but if it becomes an issue, then we'll take care of it. But for now, dude, This is great. So yeah, I think the next thing we're gonna do is put the beams on and put the fuel cell in and kind of like measure out where I want it. I already tested it out where because the battery sits a little bit lower than the actual tall of the frame, nothing will touch, which is great. So that's really really important. I just realized something. I can't get the battery out. Oh, that's gonna be an issue. I just realized that. I don't think I'm gonna get the battery out. Hold on, I gotta test something. Holy cow, we got so lucky. So the battery, this is a smaller battery. This is from the Pink 240. So the original charger battery is obviously way bigger, but it's kind of hard to see, but we'll still clear it no problem whatsoever. And this is kind of pretty centered, and which is great because then I could just tack, and I don't have to do any cutting. So, and this is like kind of like pretty, I mean, I could probably move it over for a little bit, but I think this is perfect. Maybe I'll just kind of scooch it over just like that. Maybe that's a little bit better. But dude, that is amazing. Yeah, that's perfect. And then it's under here. You really can't see the fuel cell. Wow, that's perfect. All right, that's cool. That's awesome. That makes things so much easier. And then we could just put the fuel pumps on this side. Or maybe we'll put the fuel pump here, fuel filter right there, keep it simple, and then just route everything down that way, swoop, and then go straight across. All right, cool. Dude, look at that. Fuel cell's finally in. I am missing one bolt, but it's probably where the FDM used to be, so I could look for that. But yeah, I kept it pretty simple. I pretty much welded exactly how I did back at the FDM, and just welded on each corner. I know most people would like to weld on each side, but I mean, it's not going anywhere, so it is nice. It's actually really snug in the fuel cell. So I think when I took it out and I was welding it even a lot more, I just tacked it earlier. But when I actually started really welding on each side, you could feel the clearance just got a little bit tighter, but it was able to squeeze it in, and it's not going anywhere. So yeah, cool. Dude, see, super simple, and then you just gotta close the door, and there you go. Oh, need a refuel? Pop it up. Boom. And the best part is we could service it, pop it out, and if we ever have to do a different fuel cell in the future, like if I got rear-ended really bad and I lose this fuel cell, I really hope I never lose this thing. This thing is the very first, not the first fuel cell I bought, but this is the first real fuel cell I bought, and I would like to still keep it in great condition for what it is. And yeah, the battery just sits right there. Freaking fantastic. So yeah, that took a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be, but thankfully I didn't have to cut. I guessed 4 feet of square tubing. And dude, I was spot on. I am so happy with myself. I was so spot on. Any more, it would never work. So no, that was great. I thought I had to like cut it or trim it, but no. I like to keep things pretty simple. You know, it just doesn't have to overcomplicate things. But now, we have plenty of room to mount the fuel cell. And like I said, the QSST will eventually sit up there, and it'll be great. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Just a lot of work to work with. And if I ever want to put the fuel cell up there, I could in the future if I ever wanted to. So I have no idea what time it is, but I'm gonna check the time and see how much I got for today. But it is so hot in here, even with the fan on. In the summer, man, it is a trial of fire right now. Oh, I'm so sweaty. It's disgusting.